A diet myth is advice that becomes popular without facts to back it up. When it comes to weight loss, many popular beliefs are myths and others are only partly true. Joining us today is Abimbola Muide Olukoya to help you sort through what you hear. Abimbola Muide Olukoya is a registered nutrition dietitian. She joins us virtually. Hello, Bimbo. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Thanks for having me.
I would like you to share some of these myths and fads with us. But first, let us start from the definition of fads.
Basically, fad diets, food fads, they are basically diets that become all of a sudden popular and often have this promise and claims of fast weight loss or health improvement. And there are numerous examples of that. For example, there was a time keto diet was really trending because it promises quick weight loss and the likes. Keto diet is one of those fad diets where people tend to say, oh, it makes me lose weight. So they jump on it because they even see somebody using it and they feel it's recommended. So basically, keto diets are diets for epileptic patients. And it's a way, the way it works is that our body naturally burns glucose. So for keto diet, your body, instead of burning glucose, which is gotten through food, the person focuses more mainly on fat-based food items, and the body burns fat instead of glucose as a source of energy. And the normal process for the body is to burn glucose, which is gotten from fat. People saw that this helps people lose weight, whereas why this particular diet came to be was that it was for epileptic patients, where these patients, science studies showed that when epileptic patients are placed on keto diet, they tend to have less seizures because their brain is using the fat as a source of energy and not the glucose. And basically, anybody that has to be placed on a keto diet has to actually be hospitalized and probably checked by the doctors to see progress. But people just jump on it, and there are different variants of it where there's certain percentages of fat that must go into, it goes high as saying the fat should be above half of what your daily recommendation should be. So out of 100 that is supposed to be contributed, 100% of calories that is supposed to be contributed by carbohydrate, fat, and protein, and of which carbohydrates should take at least 60% of it. And fat takes about 20%, protein the other 20%, depending on your body weight actually. But people tend to just go ahead and do this keto diet and increase the fat to as anything higher than 60% thereabout, and that definitely changes the way the body works. And of course it works, but some people have landed in the hospital because of that. And some cases, some people have gone into coma, and some people have had associated I've had complications from there. How some people come because they started a keto diet. And also, so that's for keto diet. Also, so there's also the fad that you will get diabetes if you indulge your sweet tooth. So basically what this means is that, if you like to take a lot of sweet things, you get diabetes. It's an automatic, you get diabetes. Basically, just because you take sweet, although it's a risk factor, it doesn't automatically mean that is going to result in diabetes, because diabetes, what causes it is the inability of the pancreas to absorb the sugar, just to aid the digestive process, where whatever you eat gets broken down into energy for your body to use. So the natural pathway for diabetes is when the pancreas is not producing enough insulin or is not producing at all. That is when we have the type 1 and the type 2 diabetes. So just taking sweet things does not automatically mean one is going to come down with diabetes. However, it is a risk factor.
All right, let me come in here. You were saying it's a risk factor. Now, how can we achieve a balance then?
Okay, so basically how to achieve a balance is that whatever you take, you must always know you have to take it in good proportion. Too much of anything is bad. So if you are someone that likes to take a lot of sugar, you maybe tone it down. Because aside from the fact that it is a risk factor for diabetes, it's also a risk factor for obesity and the likes. And sugar definitely is not as if it doesn't have calories. It means something. And when I mean excessive sugar, I don't mean like maybe table sugar. When I say sweet tooth, it means like taking soft drink, fizzy drinks. This as a way of being a risk factor for obesity and diabetes. So for the next fad and myth we're going to talk about is the gluten-free diet, where it's been said that gluten-free diet has health benefits and it is good for weight loss. So the first question should be, okay, what is a gluten-free diet? Actually, gluten is a type of protein that we get from food. A gluten-free diet doesn't have anything to do with weight loss. Yeah, like anytime you take a food item that contains gluten, there is a reaction in the body. That is when people are prescribed the gluten-free diet. Gluten-free is that the food doesn't contain gluten. Gluten is a protein that is found in wheat, which, for example, is bread, pasta, semo, and the likes. However, it's been heard that some people also prescribe it as a weight loss diet. Okay, so another also is that fruit should be taken on an empty stomach. If it is eaten with other foods, it can cause fermentation. I mean, you know how our mothers send a lot of broadcast messages. I've gotten a lot of this. That is this real? Is this true? So I should, there's the argument that should fruits be taken before food, with food, or after food? So now some people went further to say, oh, fruit should be taken maybe before the food, because if you eat it with the other food, it's going to affect the digestion and it's going to make the food, everything that you'll be eating, ferment and the likes. It's all myth, because it's not true. Just like you would eat any other food item, you can also take fruits and it would not have anything to do with your digestive system. There are even advantages to consumption of fruits because they are one of the main sources of our micronutrients, the vitamins and the minerals. So why would you not want to take fruit or be scared of taking fruit that it might affect your digestion process? That is not going to happen. So the next food myth is that skimmed milk is worthless. Skimmed milk is milk that the fat has been removed from it. So I guess sometimes you go to the store and you see some milk that it's indicated, the marketing strategy and all that, skimmed milk is gotten from animal fat or plant fat. A cow is milked and the milk is processed and the likes, and this particular milk is from animal fat. So if skimmed milk is to be gotten from that particular milk, the fat in it is going to be removed. And this is where skimmed milk comes in. When you compare between full cream milk and skimmed milk, the basic difference is that the fat has been removed from it. So, and it's not as if the fat is removed completely. There's still a little amount of fat. It's just that it is reduced. And people tend to think like skimmed milk, because you remove the fat, it's completely worthless. And this is wrong, because it's not as if it's worthless. It's quite good depending on your goal. If it's for weight loss, it's quite good, because if the calorie you're supposed to get from the fat that was removed from the skimmed milk is no longer there, it aids with your weight loss journey if you're a milk lover and you still want to lose weight. And then also, you don't even have to be somebody that needs to lose weight before you tend to take skimmed milk. Basically, your lifestyle should be that which watches out for excessive intake of fat and calories in different ways that it can be eaten in food. So if you like skimmed milk, it's all fine. And some people say it's worthless because it's not as sweet as the full cream milk, which is true because when you cook and you add extra palm oil or vegetable oil, it tends to be sweeter than when you don't add. So one of the advantages of using fat, it makes food more palatable and tasty. So when the milk, the fat in milk is removed, it also affects the taste a bit. Okay, then I also have to mention that another issue with the skimmed is that you have to be careful for that. Just because the taste of the skimmed milk is not as sweet as that of the full cream milk, you don't end up adding sugar to it, which in the end defeats the purpose and the calorie of the food just gets increased. All right, so for the last one, it says cold water when taken while eating will prevent digestion by making the oil to congeal. It sounds funny, all right? Okay, so it basically says when you take cold water while you're eating, say for example, I'm eating a soup that has oil, and then I take cold water with it, then it's going to make the oil congeal in the stomach and prevent the digestion of the food. And I guess this came from the fact that when oil is maybe cold, when cold water is added to oil or something, it can congeal. Because it's amazing how this came to be, that because you've eaten oily and then you've taken cold water, it's going to congeal and affect the digestion. This is completely wrong, because the body temperature is going to regulate everything you take. Just like you would hear that a pregnant woman shouldn't take cold water, it's going to affect the baby. This is also quite wrong, because your body temperature normally will regulate things, and it has completely nothing to do with digestion or cold water affecting the baby, because where the baby is even completely different from where your stomach, where the consuming and ingesting goes to. So you can always take cold water with your food. There's no need to be scared of that.
Thank you so much, Bimbo, for enlightening us. Now, if you do not mind, we would like you to share some nutrition and diet tips with us.
Just basically that not all that glitters is gold. So when you come across some diet that promises quick results and rapid changes, just don't always believe and jump on it, because there might be more than meet the eyes to it, and it's most likely not going to be a fruitful journey, in the sense that yes, you can lose the weight, you might lose the weight, but can you keep the weight lost? So that is why it is recommended that a weight loss journey, your weight loss journey or your lifestyle should be that of healthy living, where you practice this nutrition tips and the healthy lifestyle of practicing avoiding these calories and doing exercise, making sure that you don't overeat, you make sure that you don't take too much of things, because really too much of anything is bad. So once you make sure this is a lifestyle and it's a constant habit, it's not that, okay, when I'm on a diet, I make sure that I am very compliant and I do this and do that, and then when you've lost the weight, you just go back to eating all the things you've been avoiding. You're just going to go back to square one. So really, having weight loss or having to keep your weight at the desired kg you want is a lifestyle habit. It has to be a daily thing.
Well, this is a good place to leave it. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for being a part of the show. I am Perpetua Fasami Peter. Bye for now.